Hello, and welcome to this audiobook summary of Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. We're going to embark on a fascinating journey through the human mind and heart, a journey that explores why emotions matter just as much as, if not more than, raw intellect in shaping our lives. Daniel Goleman, a psychologist and science journalist, first published this groundbreaking book in 1995, and it's since become a cornerstone for understanding how we navigate relationships, work, and even our own inner worlds. This isn't just a book about feelings. It's a guide to mastering them, backed by cutting-edge neuroscience and real-life stories that will stick with you long after we're done. So, settle in, and let's dive into the 5 parts of this transformative work, starting with the emotional brain itself. Emotional intelligence is a transformative exploration of the concept of emotional intelligence, EI, and its crucial role in personal and professional success. Goleman argues that traditional measures of intelligence, such as IQ, are not the only predictors of success. Instead, emotional intelligence, comprising self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills, plays a significant role in how individuals navigate the complexities of life. Goleman delves into the scientific research behind emotional intelligence, explaining how it can be cultivated and developed over time. He highlights the importance of being aware of one's own emotions and those of others, as well as the ability to manage emotional responses in various situations. Through compelling examples and studies, Goleman illustrates how emotional intelligence can enhance relationships, improve decision-making, and lead to greater overall well-being. The book also underscores the implications of emotional intelligence in the workplace, education, and leadership. Goleman provides practical strategies for enhancing emotional intelligence, making it accessible for readers seeking personal growth and improved interpersonal relationships. Ultimately, emotional intelligence serves as a vital resource for understanding the importance of emotions in shaping human behavior and interactions. Here are 10 key lessons from emotional intelligence. 1. Understanding emotional intelligence. Introduction: the power within us. Picture this. You're stuck in traffic, late for a meeting, and the car in front of you won't budge. Your hands tighten on the wheel, your jaw clenches, and a hot wave of frustration surges through you. Do you honk and yell, letting the anger take over? Or do you take a deep breath, notice the feeling, and let it pass? That choice, right there, is emotional intelligence in action. Let's deep dive into understanding emotional intelligence, or EI, and how it plays out in the real world. Daniel Goleman, the mind behind this concept, showed us that EI isn't just about feelings. It's about mastering them to live better, connect deeper, and thrive. Let's explore what it is, why it matters, and how it shows up in everyday life through stories that might just sound familiar. Defining emotional intelligence, the 5 pillars. So what is emotional intelligence? Goleman breaks it down into 5 key skills: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Think of them as the gears of an emotional engine. Self-awareness is knowing what you feel and why, like realizing that traffic jam anger isn't just about the delay, but maybe a tough day piling up. Self-regulation is keeping that anger in check, not letting it hijack your actions. Motivation drives you to push past setbacks, like finishing a project despite exhaustion. Empathy lets you tune into others' emotions, say, noticing a friend's quiet slump at a party. And social skills? That's the art of turning those insights into smooth, meaningful connections. These aren't fluffy ideas. They're rooted in our brains. The amygdala, that emotional alarm system, can scream danger or joy before our rational neocortex even blinks. EI is the bridge between the two, blending heart and head. But enough theory. Let's see it in the wild. Real-world example 1. The bus driver's magic. Rewind to a steamy August day in New York City. Daniel Goleman tells of a bus driver who transformed a miserable ride into something magical. Picture the scene. Passengers slumped in their seats, sweaty and sullen, the air thick with irritation. Then this driver, a middle-aged guy with a grin, greets each person boarding with a chipper. "Hi, how you doing?" It's jarring at first, but as the bus inches up Madison Avenue, he keeps going, pointing out a sale at a shop, a cool museum exhibit, a new movie worth catching. His enthusiasm is contagious. By the time people step off, they're smiling, trading "have a great day" with him like old friends. This is EI at its finest. Self-awareness? He knew his own cheer could shift the mood. Self-regulation? He didn't let the heat or grumbles drag him down. Motivation? He turned a mundane job into a mission. Empathy? He read the passenger's gloom and met it with warmth. Social skills? He wove a little community on that bus. Goleman says that driver was an urban peacemaker, proof that small acts of EI can ripple outward, lifting a whole city's spirit. Real-world example 2, the career girl murders and emotional hijacking. Now, let's flip to a darker tale, one that shows what happens when EI fails. It's 1963, and Richard Robles, a paroled burglar, breaks into an apartment on New York's Upper East Side. He's desperate for cash, but swears this is his last job. The plan unravels fast. One of the tenants, Janice Wiley, is home. Robles ties her up with a knife to her throat. Then her roommate, Emily Hofford, walks in. As he binds her too, Janice warns she'll remember his face and turn him in. Panic hits. Robles grabs a soda bottle, clubs them senseless, then stabs them in a blind rage. Decades later, still in prison, he recalls, "My head just exploded." This is an emotional hijacking, the amygdala seizing control, drowning out reason. Robles lacked self-awareness to recognize his rising fear, self-regulation to stop the spiral, and empathy to see the human cost. It's a tragic extreme, but think of your own life. A harsh word you snapped at a loved one, a rash email you sent in anger. EI isn't about never feeling. It's about catching those impulses before they run wild. Real-world example 3, the star performer at Bell Labs. Let's pivot to the workplace. At Bell Labs, a hub of brilliant engineers, Goleman found a puzzle. The star performers weren't always the ones with the highest IQs. Take Sarah, a mid-level engineer. She wasn't a genius at coding, but she shone. Why? When a project stalled, she'd rally her team, cracking jokes to ease tension, listening to frustrations, and nudging everyone toward solutions. During a crunch, she stayed late, not because she had to, but because she wanted the win for the group. Her boss noticed. She's not the smartest, but she's the one we can't lose. Sarah's EI made her a star. Self-awareness kept her calm under pressure. Self-regulation stopped her from snapping at delays. Motivation fueled her persistence. Empathy let her sense her team's burnout, and social skills turned chaos into collaboration. Goleman notes that as jobs demand more teamwork, think tech startups or hybrid offices, EI outshines raw intellect. It's why a gruff genius might stagnate while a steady connector climbs. Real-world example 4, the parent and the toddler in the canal. One more story, this time from England. A man strolls by a canal after brunch, coat and tie still on, when he spots a girl staring at the water, her face locked in terror. Before he knows why, he's in the canal, soaking wet, pulling a toddler to safety. Only then does he piece it together. The girl was the mother, frozen as her child drowned. His amygdala saw her fear and acted faster than thought. This is empathy's raw power, a cornerstone of EI. It's not just feeling sorry, it's feeling with someone, so deeply you move. Think of a friend who knows you're down without a word, or a teacher who spots a kid's quiet struggle. Goleman ties this to evolution. Our survival once hinged on reading each other's cues. Today, it's what binds families, teams, and strangers in a crisis. Conclusion: EI in your world. So where does this leave us? Emotional intelligence isn't a buzzword, it's a lens for life. That bus driver showed how it uplifts. Robles warned of its absence. Sarah proved it wins at work. And the canal rescue revealed its instinctual depth. Goleman's gift is showing us that EI isn't fixed, you can grow it. Next time you're in traffic, at a tense meeting, or with a hurting friend, pause. Feel what's stirring. Steer it. Connect. That's EI, and it's already in you, waiting to shine. Thanks for joining me. Now go make your own story. 2. Self-awareness. Imagine you're at a family dinner, and your uncle makes a snarky comment about your job. Your stomach tightens, your pulse quickens, and you're about to fire back something sharp. But then you pause. You notice the heat in your chest, the clench in your jaw, and you think, I'm angry, and it's not just about him. That moment, that flicker of recognition, is self-awareness. Self-awareness isn't just navel-gazing. It's the quiet superpower that lets us see ourselves clearly, steering our actions before they steer us. Let's unpack what it means and how it shows up in the real world through stories that might hit close to home. Defining self-awareness, knowing the inner weather. So what is self-awareness? Goleman calls it the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions as they happen. It's like being a meteorologist of your mind, tracking the storms, sunshine, and fog rolling through. It's not just feeling mad or happy. It's knowing why you're mad, what triggered it, and how it's shaping your next move. This isn't automatic. Our brains are wired to react fast, with the amygdala lighting up before the rational neocortex can weigh in. Self-awareness is the bridge, catching those raw impulses and naming them. Think of it as an inner dialogue. Maybe you're nervous before a big presentation, not just sweaty palms, but a voice saying, "I'm scared I'll flop because last time I stumbled." That clarity separates reaction from reflection. Goleman says it's the bedrock of emotional intelligence. Without it, you're a ship without a compass. But let's leave the theory and step into life. Here's how self-awareness plays out. Real-world example 1, the parent in the storm. Meet Lisa, a single mom juggling a toddler, a job, and a mountain of laundry. One evening, her 3-year-old, Max, spills juice all over the couch, just as she's on a work call. She feels a flash of rage, her voice rising as she snaps. "Max, why can't you just sit still?" He freezes, eyes wide, and she's about to yell again. But then she stops. She takes a breath and notices. Her heart's pounding, her shoulders are tight, and it's not just the juice. It's the stress of the day, the call, the endless to-do list. I'm not mad at him, she realizes. I'm overwhelmed. She hangs up, kneels down, and says, "Sorry, buddy. Mommy's tired. Let's clean it up together." That's self-awareness in the clutch. Lisa caught her anger mid-flight, traced it to its roots, and shifted gears. Goleman would say she dodged an emotional hijacking, where the amygdala takes over and reason checks out. By naming her overwhelm, she didn't just save the moment, she modeled calm for Max. It's messy, human, and powerful. Real-world example 2, the boss who listened. Now picture Mark, a mid-level manager at a tech firm. His team's behind on a deadline, and during a meeting, his star coder, Jen, admits she missed a bug. Mark feels a surge of frustration. His neck heats up, his words sharpen. He's ready to say, "How could you let this slip?" But he pauses. He's been here before, snapping at people, then regretting it. He tunes in. "I'm irritated because I'm scared we'll look bad to the client, and I'm taking it out on her." Instead of blasting Jen, he says, "Okay, let's figure this out. What happened, and how can I help?" Mark's self-awareness turned a potential blow-up into a win. Goleman points to studies showing that leaders who know their triggers, like Mark's fear of failure, build trust, not tension. By catching his emotion and redirecting it, he kept the team on track. It's not about never feeling. It's about knowing what you feel and choosing what to do with it. Real-world example 3, the friend in the tears. Let's shift to Sarah, a college student catching up with her best friend, Tom, over coffee. He's talking about his new girlfriend, and Sarah nods along, but something's off. Her chest feels heavy, her smile's forced. She could brush it off, but she digs in. "I'm jealous," she admits to herself. "I miss being his go-to person." It stings, but it's true. Instead of sulking or picking a fight, she says, "Hey, I'm happy for you, but I'm feeling a little left out lately. Can we hang out more?" Sarah's self-awareness is raw and brave. Goleman says this kind, spotting emotions like jealousy or sadness, keeps relationships real. She didn't let the feeling fester into resentment. She named it and acted. It's not always pretty, but it's honest. Tom, by the way, appreciated it. They planned a movie night. Self-awareness saved a friendship. Real-world example 4, the athlete's comeback. Finally, meet Jamal, a high school basketball player. Last season, he choked in the playoffs, missed a free throw that cost the game. The crowd booed, and he spiraled. "I'm a failure." This year, same stakes, he's at the line again. His hands shake, his mind races. But he's worked on this. He notices, "I'm nervous, and that's okay. It's just like practice." He breathes, focuses, and sinks the shot. The gym erupts. Jamal's self-awareness flipped the script. Goleman ties this to motivation. Knowing your fear doesn't mean believing it. Jamal didn't deny the nerves. He felt them, labeled them, and moved through. Athletes, artists, anyone facing pressure. These moments show how self-awareness fuels resilience. It's not ignoring the storm, it's sailing it. Conclusion: your own mirror. So, what ties these stories together? Self-awareness is the first step, the spark that lights emotional intelligence. Lisa saw her overwhelm, Mark his fear, Sarah her jealousy, Jamal his nerves. Each caught their inner weather and chose their forecast. Goleman's point is clear: you can't control what you don't know. Next time you're fuming in traffic, quiet at a party, or shaky before a big moment, pause. Ask, what am I feeling? What? That's where it starts. You've got this mirror. Use it. Thanks for listening. Now go look inside. 3. Self-regulation. Imagine you're in a heated argument with your partner. They've just said something that cuts deep, maybe about your habits or your time together, and you feel a fire ignite inside. Your voice rises, your hands ball into fists, and you're ready to let loose a torrent of words you'll regret. But then, you stop. You take a breath, unclench your jaw, and say, let's talk this out later when we're calmer. That pivot, that grip on the storm, is self-regulation. Exploration of this vital piece of emotional intelligence, straight from Daniel Goleman's Emotional Intelligence. Self-regulation isn't about bottling up feelings. It's about steering them so they don't steer you. Let's dive into what it means and see it in action through stories that might feel all too real. So what's self-regulation? Goleman describes it as the ability to manage your emotions, keeping disruptive impulses in check, staying composed under pressure, and adapting with grace. It's the brake pedal to the amygdala's gas, the emotional brain that screams, fight, or flee, before your rational neocortex can catch up. Self-regulation isn't suppressing anger or fear, it's channeling them, choosing how they play out. It's tied to trustworthiness, too. If you can't control yourself, how can others rely on you? Picture it like a dimmer switch on a light. The emotion's there, bright and buzzing, but you decide how much it shines. Goleman says it's what lets us stay clear-headed in chaos, turning raw passion into purposeful action. It builds on self-awareness. Knowing you're upset is step 1. Regulating it is step 2. Now, let's see it unfold in the real world. Real-world example 1. The teacher in the chaos. Meet Carla, a third-grade teacher on a rainy Monday. Her classroom's a zoo. Kids are loud. One's tossing paper. Another's whining about a lost pencil. She's got a headache, and when little Timmy knocks over a chair, she feels a snap inside. Her instinct? Yell? Everyone quiet now. But she catches herself. She knows this edge. It's exhaustion, not Timmy. She steps to the window, breathes, and says, okay, let's all take a minute. Rainy days are tough, huh? How about a quick story instead? Carla's self-regulation saved the day. Goleman would nod here. Her amygdala fired, but she hit the brakes. She didn't deny her frustration. She redirected it into calm. The kids settled, and she kept her cool, proving that regulating isn't just personal, it ripples out. A screaming teacher breeds a tense room. A steady one builds trust. Real-world example 2, the driver in the rage. Now picture Raj, stuck in rush hour traffic. A pickup cuts him off, nearly clipping his bumper, and Raj's blood boils. He leans on the horn, ready to roll down the window and unleash a string of curses. But he stops. He feels the heat in his chest, the itch to react, and thinks, this guy's a jerk, but losing it won't move me faster. He cranks the radio instead, humming along until the jam clears. Raj's self-regulation is road-tested EI. Goleman ties this to impulse control. Road rage is the amygdala unchecked, a relic of our fight-or-flight past. Raj didn't swallow his anger. He steered it away from a pointless clash. Studies Goleman cites show that chronic rage spikes heart disease risk. Raj's choice was healthier, too. It's not about never honking. It's about knowing when it's worth it. Real-world example 3, the colleague in the critique. Let's shift to Mia, a graphic designer in a team meeting. Her boss, reviewing her latest project, says, this layout's off. It's not hitting the mark. Mia's stomach drops. She spent hours on it. Her first urge is to snap back. What do you even know about design? But she pauses. She feels the sting, pride, defensiveness, and decides, he's not attacking me. He's pushing the work. She nods and says, got it. What's off? Let's tweak it. Mia's self-regulation shines here. Goleman calls this adaptability. handling critique without crumbling. She didn't let hurt derail her. She turned it into focus. Workplaces thrive on this. Goleman notes that teams with regulated leaders weather stress better. Mia's calm kept the meeting productive, not personal. It's EI as a career edge. Real-world example 4, the athlete in the slump. Finally, meet Diego, a soccer player in a slump. His last 3 games? Missed shots, fumbled passes, fans jeering. Tonight, he subbed out early, and as he hits the bench, he wants to kick the water cooler, scream at the coach, quit. But he doesn't. He feels the shame, the fury, and thinks, this sucks, but trashing stuff won't fix my game. He grabs a notepad instead, sketching plays to practice later. Diego's self-regulation is grit in action. Goleman links this to motivation, staying steady despite setbacks. Diego didn't ignore his slump. He harnessed the energy to regroup. Athletes know this. Goleman cites studies where emotional control predicts comebacks. Diego's not just saving face, he's building a path back. It's regulation as resilience. Conclusion, your own reins. What do these stories tell us? Self-regulation is the hand on the reins. Carla's calm in chaos. Raj's restraint in traffic. Mia's poise under fire. Diego's pivot from despair. Goleman's insight is simple. Emotions don't have to rule us. Next time you're on edge, snapping at a kid, fuming in a line, stinging from a jab, feel it, sure, but hold the reins. Shift the dimmer. You're not a passenger, you're the driver. Thanks for joining me. Now go steer your storm. 4. Empathy. Understand others' emotions. Cultivate empathy to connect with others, enhance relationships, and respond to their needs effectively. Imagine you're at a coffee shop, waiting for your latte, when you overhear a barista quietly tell a coworker, I just found out my dog's sick. I don't know how I'm getting through today. Your order's up, but something tugs at you. You catch her eye, offer a soft, hey, I'm sorry about your pup, and her tense face softens. That instinct, that heartbeat of understanding, is empathy. Welcome to a 20-minute journey into this cornerstone of emotional intelligence, as Daniel Goleman unpacks it in Emotional Intelligence. Empathy isn't just feeling sorry, it's feeling with someone, tuning into their world. Let's explore what it is and how it shows up in real life through stories that might echo your own. So, what's empathy? Goleman calls it the ability to recognize and share others' emotions, to pick up their joy, their pain, their quiet signals, even when they don't speak. It's rooted in the amygdala, that emotional radar in our brains, scanning for cues like a furrowed brow or a shaky voice. But it's more than instinct. Empathy pairs with the neocortex to understand why someone feels that way. It's not about fixing their problems. It's about being present in them. Goleman splits it into layers. There's basic empathy, mirroring a baby's cry with a wince, and deeper empathy, grasping a friend's grief over a breakup because you've been there. It's what fuels compassion, builds trust, and binds us as humans. Without it, we're just guessing at each other's hearts. Let's see it in action. Real-world example 1. The stranger by the canal. Picture a crisp Sunday in England. A man in a coat strolls by a canal, still savoring his brunch, when he spots a young woman staring at the water. Her face is locked, eyes wide, mouth stiff. Before he knows why, he's jumping in, splashing through the cold to pull a thrashing toddler to shore. Only after does he realize she was the mom, paralyzed as her child drowned. He didn't think. He felt her terror and moved. This is empathy at its rawest. Goleman ties it to our survival wiring. The amygdala reads distress like a siren. That man didn't need words. Her frozen fear was enough. It's the kind of empathy that leaps before logic, proving we're built to care. He didn't know her, but he felt her, and that saved a life. Real-world example 2. The nurse in the quiet room. Now meet Aisha, a nurse in a busy ER. It's midnight, and a man in his 60s shuffles in, clutching his chest. Tests show it's not a heart attack, just panic, but he's trembling, muttering about his late wife. Aisha could chart it and move on, the ward swamped. Instead, she sits. She sees his hunched shoulders, hears the crack in his voice, and says, "You miss her, don't you?" He nods, tears spilling. She stays a few minutes, listening as he whispers about their last anniversary. Aisha's empathy is deliberate. Goleman would call this cognitive empathy, reading the man's grief and meeting it with understanding. She didn't cure his panic, but she eased it, seeing past the symptoms to the story. Nurses like her don't just heal bodies, they touch souls. Her quiet presence turned a sterile room into a safe one. Real-world example 3, the friend at the party. Let's shift to Jamal at a friend's birthday bash. The music's loud, the drinks are flowing, but he notices his buddy Sam off to the side, swirling his beer, eyes down. People are laughing, but Sam's not. Jamal could keep dancing. He's having fun, but he walks over. "You good, man?" Sam shrugs. "Just stuff at home." Jamal doesn't push. He sits, nods, and says, "Rough, huh? I'm here if you want to talk." Jamal's empathy is subtle but real. Goleman calls this emotional attunement, picking up the unsaid. He read Sam's slump, felt the weight, and offered a lifeline without prying. Friends like Jamal don't fix everything. They show up. That beer bottle spun a little less after. Sometimes being seen is enough. Real-world example 4, the teacher in the classroom. Finally, meet Elena, a high school English teacher. She's mid-lesson when she spots Maria, a usually chatty student, staring out the window, her notebook blank. The class is dissecting poetry, but Maria's miles away. Elena could call her out, keep the pace, but she doesn't. After class, she pulls Maria aside. "You seem off today. Everything okay?" Maria hesitates, then mumbles about her parents fighting. Elena listens, then says, "That's heavy. Want to sit in the library for a bit?" Elena's empathy bridges worlds. Goleman highlights this as compassionate empathy, understanding, and acting. She saw Maria's silence, felt its source, and responded with care. It's not about grades here, it's about connection. Maria came back stronger next class. Empathy rebuilt her footing. Conclusion: your own antenna. What weaves these stories together? Empathy is the pulse that links us. The stranger's leap, Aisha's pause, Jamal's check-in, Elena's outreach. Goleman's lesson is clear. It's not just feeling. It's tuning in, stepping into someone's shoes, even briefly. Next time you see a tense face, a quiet slump, a shaky hand, listen with more than your ears. Feel with them. You don't need to save the day, just show up. That's empathy, and it's in you. Thanks for joining me. Now go hear a heartbeat. 5. Social skills. Build strong interpersonal relationships. Develop social skills to navigate social situations, resolve conflicts, and foster collaboration. Imagine you're at a barbecue, the backyard buzzing with chatter, and you spot a new neighbor standing alone by the grill, poking at a burger with a shy smile. You could keep joking with your buddies, but instead, you walk over, stick out a hand, and say, "Hey, I'm Alex. Those burgers smell amazing. How'd you end up here?" He lights up, and soon you're swapping stories about the neighborhood. That move, that spark of connection, is social skills in action. Social skills aren't just charm. They're the art of building bonds and navigating life's dance. Let's unpack what they are and see them shine in stories that might feel familiar. So what are social skills? Goleman defines them as the ability to interact and communicate effectively, handling relationships with finesse, influencing others positively, and smoothing out conflicts. It's the capstone of emotional intelligence, built on self-awareness, regulation, and empathy. If empathy tunes you into someone's feelings, social skills turn that signal into action, knowing when to listen, when to lead, when to crack a joke. It's not about being loud or slick. It's about being with people in a way that works. Think of it as choreography. Your brain's wiring, amygdala for cues, neocortex for strategy, helps you read the room and step in sync. Goleman says it's what makes teams gel, families thrive, and strangers become friends. It's persuasion, collaboration, and a dash of grace. Let's see it play out. Real-world example 1, the bus driver's cheer. Picture a sticky summer day in New York City. A bus rolls up, packed with sweaty, grumpy riders. The driver, a guy with a twinkle in his eye, greets each passenger with a bright, "Hey, how's it going?" It's odd at first, but as the bus lurches along, he keeps it up, calling out a sale at Macy's, a museum exhibit, a new flick worth seeing. People perk up, chat back, even laugh. By the end, they're stepping off with "take care," like they're leaving a party. This driver's social skills are magic. Goleman would point to his influence, lifting a crowd with warmth and timing. He read the gloom, leaned on empathy, and used his knack for connection to shift it. It's not just a job, it's a masterclass in turning strangers into a fleeting community. One writer said it felt like a hug. Social skills can do that. Real-world example 2. The manager in the meltdown. Now meet Priya, a project manager facing a deadline crunch. Her team's frazzled. One coder's sick, another's botched a deliverable, and the client's breathing down her neck. In a tense meeting, voices rise, blame flies. Priya could snap or shut down, but she doesn't. She stands, smiles, and says, "Okay, let's breathe. We're in this together. What's the bottleneck, and how do we fix it?" She listens, delegates, even tosses in. "First round's on me when we nail this." The room steadies, and they pull it off. Priya's social skills are leadership gold. Goleman calls this conflict management, defusing tension with calm and clarity. She used empathy to feel the stress, then steered it with collaboration. Teams don't just need orders, they need glue. Priya's knack kept them united, not fractured. Social skills as a lifeline. Real-world example 3. The friend in the awkward spot. Let's shift to Carlos, at a dinner with old college pals. One friend, Lisa, starts venting about her breakup. Loud, teary, oversharing. The table gets quiet. Forks hover. It's awkward. Carlos could let it fester, but he jumps in. "Man, Lisa, that sounds rough," he says, voice easy. "Remember that time you bounced back from that awful chem final? You've got this." He winks at the group, nudging them to chime in with their own. "Yeah, you're tough," tales. The mood lifts. Lisa grins. Carlos's social skills are smooth as silk. Goleman would highlight his adaptability, reading the vibe and shifting it. He didn't judge Lisa. He met her pain with warmth and roped everyone in. It's persuasion with heart, turning a cringe moment into a win. Friends like Carlos keep the circle tight. Real-world example 4. The kid in the cafeteria. Finally, meet Sophie, a shy 12-year-old in a new school. Lunchtime's brutal. She's alone at a table, picking at her sandwich. Then she spots a girl from math class, Mia, sitting solo too, nose in a book. Sophie could stay put, but she takes a breath, walks over, and says, "Hey, I love that book. Mind if I sit?" Mia blinks, then smiles. Sure, they're trading favorite chapters by the bell. Sophie's social skills are brave and simple. Goleman ties this to building rapport, starting small, with genuine interest. She read Mia's quiet, used empathy to connect, and took a risk. Kids like Sophie don't just make friends, they grow confidence. It's social skills as a seed, plant it, and it blooms. Conclusion: your own dance. What links these stories? Social skills are the dance we do with others. The driver's cheer, Priya's steady hand, Carlos's pivot, Sophie's reach. Goleman's point is clear. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present, reading the steps, and moving together. Next time you're in a tense room, a quiet corner, or a loud crowd, tune in. Offer a word, a nod, a bridge. You've got the rhythm. Use it. Thanks for listening. Now go join the dance. 6. The role of motivation. Intrinsic motivation drives success. Focus on intrinsic motivation, passion for the work, and a commitment to personal goals, rather than external rewards. Imagine you're halfway through a marathon, legs burning, sweat stinging your eyes, and every step screaming for you to quit. The finish line's miles off, and doubt creeps in. Why am I even doing this? But then you picture crossing it. The crowd, the medal, the promise you made yourself. You dig deeper, push harder, and keep going. That spark, that inner fire, is motivation. Motivation isn't just hustle. It's the drive to chase goals, bounce back, and thrive. Let's explore what it means and see it ignite in stories that might light your own flame. So, what's motivation? Goleman defines it as the force that propels us toward achievement, a mix of passion, persistence, and optimism that keeps us moving despite setbacks. It's one of the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence, leaning on self-awareness and regulation to channel emotions into action. Unlike external rewards, cash, or applause, Goleman's motivation is intrinsic, a personal compass. It's about loving the climb, not just the peak. Neurologically, it's the brain's reward system, dopamine firing when we near a goal, tempered by the prefrontal cortex, which keeps us focused. Goleman says it's what separates doers from dreamers, the ability to delay gratification, shrug off failure, and stay hungry. It's grit with a glow. Let's see it in the wild. Real-world example 1. The runner in the rain. Picture Tara, a 30-something office worker who's never run more than a block. One soggy spring, she signs up for a 10K. Why not? Training's brutal. Mornings are cold. Her knees ache. And her first mile takes forever. Race day's worse. Pouring rain, mud everywhere, and she's near last. Halfway, she slips, twists an ankle, and thinks, I'm done. But she doesn't stop. She sees her goal, not just the finish, but proving she's tougher than she thought. Limping, soaked, she crosses the line, grinning through the sting. Tara's motivation is pure fire. Goleman would call this resilience, pushing past obstacles for an inner win. She didn't need a crowd. Her drive was the quiet voice saying, you can. It's not about speed, it's about staying in the race. That medal? It's hers, earned with every muddy step. Real-world example 2, the entrepreneur in the bust. Now meet Javier, a guy with a dream, a taco truck in a bustling college town. He saves, plans, launches, and it's a hit until it's not. A rival chain moves in, a storm trashes his awning, and bills pile up. One night, he's alone, counting a measly $20 take, ready to sell. But he pauses. He loves the sizzle of carne asada, the student smiles, the hustle. This is mine, he decides. He tweaks the menu, charms local bloggers, and grinds weekends at farmers markets. A year later, he's back, busier than ever. Javier's motivation is Goleman's gold, optimism plus effort. He didn't dodge the flops, he used them. Goleman ties this to a growth mindset, seeing failure as a detour, not a dead end. Javier's drive wasn't cash, it was building something his way. That truck's still rolling, a testament to his fire. Real-world example 3, the student in the slump. Let's shift to Amina, a high school junior drowning in pre-calc. Her last test? A 52. Her friends ace it. She's flunking, and college feels like a pipe dream. She could coast, blame the teacher, but she doesn't. She wants that diploma. Her mom never got one. So, she grabs a tutor, hits the books nightly, even when equations blur. I'll get this, she tells herself. By semester's end, she's pulling BS, eyes on university. Amina's motivation is quiet steel. Goleman calls this goal-directed persistence, locking onto a why bigger than the what. She felt the sting, regulated it, and pushed. It's not about genius, it's about grit. Her mom's proud tears at graduation, that's the fuel that kept her going. Real-world example 4, the nurse in the long shift. Finally, meet Leon, an ICU nurse on hour 14 of a double shift. The ward's chaos, alarms blaring, a patient crashing, families weeping. His back's killing him, his coffee's cold, and he's missed dinner again. He could clock out, call it a day, no one blame him. But he stays. He loves the fight, the chance to pull someone back, to ease a scared spouse's hand. He cracks a joke with a colleague, adjusts a drip, keeps going. Dawn breaks, and he's still there, steady. Leon's motivation is heart and hustle. Goleman links this to passion for the work itself, intrinsic joy in the grind. Leon didn't need a raise, he needed purpose. Nurses like him don't just clock in, they carry the shift. It's motivation as a lifeline for him and his patients. Conclusion, your own spark. What ties these tales together? Motivation is the engine, Tara's muddy finish, Javier's taco comeback, Amina's math climb, Leon's endless shift. Goleman's truth is simple. It's not what's outside pushing you. It's what's inside pulling you. Next time you're stuck, tired, failing, doubting, find your fire. What's your finish line? Your truck? Your diploma? Your fight? You've got the spark. Fan it. Thanks for joining me. Now go chase your flame. 7. Emotional intelligence in leadership. EI is essential for effective leadership. Leaders with high emotional intelligence can inspire and motivate their teams, creating a positive work environment. Imagine you're in a boardroom, tension thick as fog. The team's missed a deadline, the client's furious, and everyone's pointing fingers. The old-school boss might slam the table, barking orders to fix it. But the leader you remember? They stand, voice steady, and say, I get it. We're stressed. Let's figure this out together. That shift, that blend of calm and connection, is emotional intelligence in leadership. Leadership isn't just strategy or smarts. It's EI, self-awareness, regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills, steering the ship. Let's explore how it works and see it shine in stories that prove it's the real deal. So what's emotional intelligence in leadership? Goleman says it's the secret sauce that turns a boss into a leader. It's 5 gears: self-awareness, knowing your own triggers, self-regulation, keeping cool when it counts, motivation, driving the team toward a shared fire, empathy, feeling the crew's pulse, and social skills, tying it all together with trust and influence. IQ gets you in the room, EI keeps you there. The brain backs this up. The amygdala flags stress, the prefrontal cortex plots the path, and EI bridges them. Goleman's research shows EI trumps technical skill in top leaders. Think of it as the rudder in a storm. It's not about being soft, it's about being smart with people. Let's see it in action. Real-world example 1. The CEO in the crisis. Picture Sarah, CEO of a mid-sized tech firm. It's 2020, pandemic chaos, revenues tanking, layoffs loom. Her execs are panicking, pushing for cuts. Sarah feels the weight, sleepless nights, her own fear, but she doesn't snap. In a virtual all-hands, she says, "I'm scared too. This sucks. But we're not just numbers, we're a family. Let's pivot. New products, remote focus. I need your ideas." She listens, greenlights a scrappy app from a junior dev, and 6 months later, they're profitable again. Sarah's EI is leadership gold. Self-awareness let her own her fear. Regulation kept her steady. Motivation fueled her vision. Empathy met her team's dread. Social skills rallied them. Goleman would nod. EI leaders don't hide cracks. They build bridges. Sarah didn't just save jobs. She sparked loyalty. Real-world example 2. The coach in the locker room. Now meet Coach Mike, leading a high school basketball team on a losing streak. 5 games, 0 wins. Parents grumble, players slump. After a blowout, Mike could yell, "Bench the stars." Instead, he calls a huddle. "I see your hustle," he says, voice firm but kind. "I'm frustrated too, but I know we've got fight. What's tripping us up?" A shy guard admits he's lost confidence. Mike nods, pairs him with a vet for drills, and next game, they win, narrow but real. Mike's EI turns losses into lessons. Goleman calls this empathy and motivation in sync, feeling the team's low, pushing them up. Self-regulation kept his temper in check. Social skills rebuilt trust. Coaches like Mike don't just win games, they shape spines. That guard, he's captain now. Real-world example 3, the manager in the meltdown. Let's shift to Priya, a project manager at an ad agency. Her team's imploding. Clients rejected a pitch, deadlines loom, and her art director's storming out mid-meeting. Priya's pulse races, but she doesn't chase or shout. She steps back, breathes, then gathers everyone. "Okay, we're off track," she says calm. "I get the frustration, me too. Let's reset. What's the client missing?" She listens, cracks a joke. At least they didn't hate the font. And they nail a redo by dawn. Priya's EI is clutch. Self-awareness caught her stress. Regulation held it. Empathy read the room. Social skills steered it. Goleman's studies show EI leaders like her boost morale. Teams don't just survive crunch, they thrive. Priya's not a dictator. She's a conductor, and the pitch landed. Real-world example 4, the principal in the chaos. Finally, meet Elena, a middle school principal. It's spring, post-lockdown. Kids are wild, teachers are burned out. A fight breaks out in the hall. Staff want suspensions. Elena could enforce rules and move on, but she digs in. She meets the fighters. 2 boys, tense, scared. "What's going on?" she asks, soft but steady. One mumbles about a sick mom, stress spilling over. She listens, then rallies her team. "We're stretched thin, but these kids need us." More check-ins, less punishment. Fights drop, morale lifts. Elena's EI is quiet power. Empathy heard the boys' pain. Motivation drove her vision. Social skills united her staff. Goleman ties this to influence, leading with heart, not just policy. Elena didn't fix everything. She shifted the tide. Schools like hers don't just run, they heal. Conclusion, your own helm. What weaves these leaders together? Emotional intelligence, Sarah's pivot, Mike's lift, Priya's reset, Elena's care. Goleman's truth hits hard. Great leaders don't just command, they connect. They feel the storm, steer through it, and light the way. Next time you lead, team, family, even yourself, tap in. Know your pulse, steady it, feel theirs, push forward, tie it tight. You've got the helm, use it. Thanks for joining me. Now go lead with soul. 8. The importance of emotional literacy. Understanding emotions is crucial. Improve your emotional literacy by learning to recognize and articulate your feelings, enhancing communication and relationships. Imagine a kid sitting alone at recess, kicking dirt, while others laugh and chase nearby. He's quiet, head down, and no one notices, except maybe you. What's he feeling? Does he even know? Now picture teaching him to say, "I'm lonely," and watching him find a friend because of it. That's emotional literacy, the ability to read and name our feelings, and it's a game changer. It's not just kid stuff, it's the foundation for thriving, at home, work, anywhere. Let's explore why it matters and see it unfold in stories that might strike a chord. So, what's emotional literacy? Goleman calls it the skill of recognizing, understanding, and expressing emotions, ours and others. It's the ABCs of the heart, spotting anger before it explodes, naming sadness to ease it, or seeing fear in a friend's tight smile. It's the root of emotional intelligence. Self-awareness starts here, and everything else follows. Without it, we're stumbling in the dark, reacting blindly. The brain's in on this. The amygdala flags feelings fast, but the neocortex needs words to make sense of them. Goleman says kids who learn this early fight less, learn more, even live healthier. Adults too, it's never too late. Emotional illiteracy? That's where resentment festers, marriages crack, and teams stall. Let's see why it's worth teaching. Real-world example 1. The boy in the classroom. Picture Jamal, a fidgety 10-year-old in a bustling 5th grade class. He's smart, but lately, he's shoving desks, snapping at friends. His teacher, Miss Carter, could send him to the principal again. Instead, she tries something new, an emotions check-in. She hands out cards, happy, mad, sad, scared, and asks the kids to pick one daily. Jamal grabs mad 3 days straight. Miss Carter pulls him aside. "What's making you mad?" she asks. He mutters, "My dad's gone, moved out." She nods, teaches him to say it out loud, and soon he's talking instead of shoving. Jamal's emotional literacy is a lifeline. Goleman would point to this. Naming mad unclogged his chaos. Miss Carter's class, inspired by programs Goleman praises, cut disruptions by half. Kids who know their feelings don't just act out, they reach out. Jamal's still healing, but he's not alone anymore. Real-world example 2. The couple in the silence. Now meet Lena and Tom, married 12 years. Lately, it's quiet, too quiet. Tom's late from work, Lena's scrolling, stewing. One night, she snaps, "You're never here." He fires back, "I'm busting my ass for us." It's a wall of noise, then nothing. They could keep simmering, but Lena's been reading Goleman. She tries, "Wait. I'm hurt because I miss you." "What's going on?" Tom exhales, "I'm stressed. Work's killing me." "I miss you too." They talk, really talk, for the first time in months. Emotional literacy saves them. Goleman calls this repairing ruptures, naming hurt over hurling it. Lena didn't just feel, she spoke it, and Tom followed. Studies Goleman cites show couples who do this stick together. Silence kills faster than shouting. They're not fixed, but they're closer. Real-world example 3. The worker in the grind. Let's shift to Priya, a call center rep slogging through angry customers daily. Her stats are slipping. She's snippy, drained. Her boss could write her up, but he's trained in EI. He sits her down. "How you holding up?" She shrugs, "Fine." He pushes, "What's it feel like out there?" She hesitates, then spills, "Hopeless." They yell, "And I'm nothing." He nods, starts a team, vent, and reset. 5 minutes to name the day's weight. Priya says hopeless aloud, then determined. Her calls pick up. She's back. Priya's emotional literacy is a reboot. Goleman ties this to workplace health. Voicing despair cuts burnout. Her boss knew unnamed stress festers. Airing it freed her. Teams that talk feelings don't just cope, they grow. Priya's not just answering phones now. She's owning them. Real-world example 4. The teen in the mirror. Finally, meet Sophie, a 15-year-old scrolling Instagram, feeling small. Her grades dip, her mom nags, and she's dodging mirrors. Hates her reflection. A school counselor starts a feelings journal group. Sophie writes, ugly, lost, then tired of pretending. Sharing it cracks her shell. She hears others feel it too. She tells her mom, "I'm sad, not lazy," and they hug it out. Sophie's still wobbly, but she's lifting her head. Sophie's emotional literacy is a breakthrough. Goleman's data backs this. Teens who name emotions dodge depression's spiral. Her group, like ones he champions, have dropouts. Knowing sad isn't broken gave her ground to stand on. She's not fixed, but she's found her voice. Conclusion, your own words. What links these lives? Emotional literacy, Jamal's mad, Lena's hurt, Priya's hopeless, Sophie's sad. Goleman's lesson is stark. Feelings unnamed run us. Named, they guide us. It's not fluffy. It's survival for kids, couples, workers, you. Next time you're boiling, sinking, or lost, pause. What's the word? Say it. Teach it. You've got the alphabet. Use it. Thanks for listening. Now go speak your heart. 9. Cultivating EI in children. Teach emotional intelligence early. Support the development of emotional intelligence in children through modeling, education, and encouraging emotional expression. Imagine a little girl stomping into the kitchen, her face a thundercloud, after losing a board game to her brother. She's ready to hurl the dice across the room, but her mom kneels down and says, "I see you're mad. Want to tell me about it?" The girl pauses, sniffs, and mutters, "He always wins." That moment, that shift from rage to words, is emotional intelligence taking root. It's not just about tantrums. It's about giving kids tools to feel, think, and connect for life. Let's explore how it's done and see it bloom in stories that might remind you of your own little ones. So, how do we grow emotional intelligence in kids? Goleman says it's about teaching the 5 pillars: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills, while their brains are still pliable. The amygdala, that emotional spark plug, fires fast in kids, but the prefrontal cortex, the reasoning part, is a work in progress into their 20s. Guiding them now shapes how those wires connect. It starts with naming feelings, modeling calm, sparking their drive, showing care, and coaching connection. Goleman's research is clear. Kids with EI fight less, learn better, even heal faster from stress. It's not innate. It's nurtured, like a garden. Screw it up, and you get bullies or loners. Get it right, and you raise resilient humans. Let's see it happen. Real-world example 1. The toddler and the timeout. Picture Mia, a feisty 3-year-old, mid-meltdown at daycare. She's snatched a toy truck from a pal, and when he grabs it back, she shoves him hard. The teacher could plop her in timeout, but instead, she sits her down. "Mia, you look upset," she says, soft but firm. "What's going on?" Mia scowls. "I want truck." The teacher nods. "I get it. You're mad he took it. Let's try asking next time. Say, 'Can I have a turn?'" Mia huffs, but later, she tries it, and it works. Mia's learning EI's roots. Goleman would spotlight self-awareness and regulation here, naming mad and steering it. The teacher didn't punish, she coached. Studies Goleman cites show preschoolers taught this way hit less, share more. Mia's not perfect, but she's got a seed. Words over fists. Real-world example 2. The boy and the broken bike. Now meet Leo, a 7-year-old pedaling his new bike, until it crashes into a curb, chain snapped. He's furious, kicking the tire, ready to quit. His dad could fix it and move on, but he crouches down. "Wow, you're ticked off, huh?" Leo nods, red-faced. "Tell me." "It's stupid. I suck at this." Dad smiles. "Nah, you're learning. I've busted chains too. Want to fix it together?" Leo grumbles, then grabs a wrench. They're riding again by dusk. Leo's EI is sprouting. Goleman calls this motivation and regulation. Dad named the anger, then lit a spark to push past it. Kids who get this bounce back, not break down. Leo didn't just fix a bike, he fixed a mindset. That wrench? It's his now. Real-world example 3. The girl and the quiet friend. Let's shift to Aisha, a 9-year-old at recess. Her best friend, Sam, is off today, sitting alone, no ball, no chatter. Aisha could run off with the crowd, but she notices his slumped shoulders. She plops down. "You okay?" Sam shrugs. "My dog's sick." Aisha's eyes widen. She loves her cat. "That's awful. Want to draw him with me?" They sketch, and Sam cracks a smile. Aisha's growing empathy, pure and simple. Goleman says kids learn this by seeing and feeling others' worlds. Her parents always asked, "How's your friend feel?" That stuck. Aisha didn't fix Sam's dog. She sat in his sadness. Programs Goleman praises boost this. Empathy cuts bullying. Aisha's a friend for life now. Real-world example 4. The team in the tug-of-war. Finally, meet Carlos, an 11-year-old on a school field day. His tug-of-war team's losing, ropes slipping, kids bickering. Carlos could sulk. He hates losing, but he's been in a team talk class. He yells, "Come on, we got this. Pull together." He grins at a shy kid, Ravi, who's barely tugging. "You're strong, Ravi, go." Ravi pulls harder, the team sinks, and they win, barely. Carlos high-fives everyone. Carlos's EI is blooming, motivation and social skills in play. Goleman ties this to coaching kids in collaboration. Carlos learned to lead, not lash out. Schools like his, with EI lessons, see tighter crews, better grades. Carlos didn't just win a game, he built a team. Ravi's still beaming. Conclusion, your own garden. What ties these kids together? Emotional intelligence, cultivated. Mia's words, Leo's grit, Aisha's care, Carlos's spark. Goleman's wisdom is clear. Plant EI early, with patience and practice, and kids grow strong. Next time your little one rages, flops, or pulls back, lean in. Name it, guide it, cheer it. You're not just raising them, you're wiring them for life. Thanks for listening. Now go tend your garden. 10. Practical strategies for improvement. EI can be developed. Imagine you're stuck in a spiral, snapping at your spouse over dishes, fumbling a work pitch, feeling flat. You want to be better, calmer, sharper, more connected. But where do you start? The answer is emotional intelligence, and it's not fixed. It's a skill you can build. Self-awareness, regulation, motivation, empathy, social skills. They're not gifts, they're muscles. Let's unpack some tools to flex them and see them work in stories that might feel like yours. Goleman's 5 pillars of EI. Knowing yourself, managing emotions, staying driven, feeling others, connecting well, grow with practice. The brain's plastic. Amygdala flares can calm. Neocortex habits can shift. Strategies? Name your feelings. Pause before reacting. Set small goals. Listen deeper, and role-play the room. Simple, not easy, but doable. Goleman says it's like learning guitar. Chords first, then songs. Let's see how real people strum their way up. Strategy 1. Label emotions. The mom in the mess. Meet Tara, a mom of 2 toddlers, drowning in chaos. One morning, they're screaming over cereal, milk spilled, and she's about to lose it. She used to yell, then crash in guilt. Now, she's trying something Goleman suggests, labeling emotions. She steps back, breathes, and says, to herself, "I'm overwhelmed and ticked off." It's not magic, but it slows her pulse. "Okay, they're just hungry," she mutters, then sings a silly song to reset. They giggle. She pours more Cheerios, and the day rolls on. Tara's tool is self-awareness 101. Naming the storm shrinks it. Goleman ties this to studies. Kids and adults who label feelings lash out less. Tara's not Zen, but she's not a volcano either. Her trick? A sticky note on the fridge. What am I feeling? It's her daily chord. Strategy 2. Pause and pivot. The clerk in the line. Now picture Raj, a grocery clerk facing a grumpy customer. The guy's barking about slow service, and Raj feels heat rising. Oldham would have snapped back. He's been practicing Goleman's pause. Count to 5, pivot the energy. 1, 2, 3. He counts silently, then says, "Sorry it's rough today, let me speed this up." The guy grunts, but softens. Raj bags faster, cracks a "Rain's got us all," huh, and they part with a nod. Raj's pivot is self-regulation in real time. Goleman says that gap, 5 seconds, lets the neocortex catch the amygdala's wheel. Raj started with a phone timer at home, pausing before answering texts. Now it's reflex. He's not perfect, but his shifts are smoother, and tips are up. Strategy 3. Set small wins, the student in the stack. Let's shift to Amina, a college freshman buried in books. Finals loom. She's flunked a quiz, and motivation's tanked. She could binge Netflix, but she tries Goleman's trick. Small, clear goals. 1 chapter tonight, she decides, sticky noting her desk. She reads, underlines, feels a flicker of "I did it." Next night, 2 chapters. By exam week, she's steady, not acing, but passing with pride. Amina's wins fuel motivation. Goleman links this to dopamine, Little victories build drive. She's not a straight A star yet, but she's hooked on the grind. Her tool? A notebook of done today ticks, proof she's moving. Small steps, big fire. Strategy 4. Listen actively, the friend in the cafe. Finally, meet Carlos, catching up with his pal Mia over coffee. She's rambling about a bad week, job stress, a fight, while he's half checking his phone. He's been distant lately, so he tries Goleman's empathy booster, active listening. He sets the phone down, looks her in the eye, and echoes. Sounds like work's brutal. What happened? Mia opens up, he nods, asks, how'd that feel? She exhales, better now. Carlos's listening is empathy and social skills at work. Goleman says, reflecting back, words, not fixes, deepens bonds. Carlos practiced with a mirror first, parroting radio hosts. Now he's Mia's rock. One chat, one ear, connection restored. Conclusion, your own toolkit. What stitches these stories? Practical EI tools. Tara's labels, Raj's pause, Amina's wins, Carlos's ear. Goleman's promise is real. You don't need a guru, just steps. Start small. Name a feeling today. Count to 5 tomorrow. Chase a tiny goal. Really hear someone. You're not stuck. You're growing. These folks aren't saints. They're you with a toolbox. Thanks for joining me. Now go build your chords. Implement practical strategies such as mindfulness, reflective practices, and seeking feedback to enhance your emotional intelligence. Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman provides a profound understanding of the significance of emotional intelligence in shaping personal and professional success. The key lessons emphasize the importance of self-awareness, empathy, and effective social skills, demonstrating that emotional intelligence can be developed and cultivated over time. Goleman's work serves as a critical resource for individuals seeking to enhance their emotional intelligence, improve their relationships, and navigate the complexities of human interactions more effectively. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and please remember to subscribe to receive notification of upcoming recordings. See you in next video.